Hello, everybody. Pastor Randy here. Welcome to Making It Simple. Great to be back with you. I had to miss yesterday, had a family obligation, but I hope you had a great weekend and are off to a great start on this new week. For many of you, if you're like me, school is ending. Thank the Lord. Summer's beginning. All the different activities will be happening. Memorial Day coming up and summer vacations and all those things. I want us to begin today, and this will just be a short introduction, in the next part of our Picking the Vine series, dealing with a subject that every single one of us is affected by. No matter who you are, no matter how old you are, young, old, in between, wherever the case, no matter if you're a man or woman, a boy or a girl, there's one thing that we all have in common according to Scripture, and that is that we all fall short of the glory of God. Now, that is not a negative statement. That just simply means we're human and we're not perfect. But there's one more. Now, this one maybe not be written, but there's absolutely one more that we all fall short in, and that is in the subject of patience. That is something we all struggle with. The word patience, when we hear that word, we immediately think, boy, oh boy, do I struggle with that. Maybe it's traffic coming into work. I had that problem just this morning. Maybe it's, just the simple waiting on something that you're ready for it to be a little faster. The word, I'm going to read this definition for you. The word means the quality of being patient, bearing the annoyance. Now, this is exactly how the definition reads. Bearing the annoyance, misfortune, or pain without complaint, without the loss of temper, without irritation or the like. The ability or willingness to suppress restlessness or annoyance when confronted by delay. Thus, the traffic illustration. To be quiet or to have steady perseverance or be even tempered. Now you're thinking, wait a minute, Pastor, I hear that definition and now I know why I don't have any patience, because it is a trying and a testing of every single thing that gets on my nerves, of every single thing that causes me to absolutely fall short. What is the lesson in that? What is the lesson of that? Because as we see, as we've been picking the vine, the fruit of the Spirit, fruit, singular, is love, which creates joy, which creates peace, which creates patience. God never calls for us to do something that we can't do, that's impossible. So what we see in this list, if you will, is that we need Him. When we begin to understand that He loves us, and that is a beautiful love, that is as Scripture would call it, an agape love, a love that we can't comprehend, that even in the midst of us, in our shortcomings and all, He still loves us. He doesn't cut us short. In fact, Scripture says that nothing can separate us from the love of God. There are some that wrongly, and I don't know any other word to put, wrongly teach, that that's not true, that God hates you and, you're just doomed and damned all from the very beginning and you never have a chance unless He picks you out of the group. Scripture doesn't teach that. It says nothing can separate us from the love of God, not height, nor depth, nor death, nothing. Here we see, as we look at the fruit of the Spirit, and Paul has given us this list, and the fruit of the Spirit is, and we begin to read this, we realize we can't do this alone. And I don't think there's any other subject that really, really drives that home, even within the confines of this list. And we're going to look at all of them before it's all said and done. But as we've looked, understanding real love, what it really, really means, understanding what real joy is and how we find it, understanding how to have peace, and that it's with God. It is the peace of God. It is the peace of others. All those different things, peace with others. We realize in order to obtain patience, some versions use the word long suffering in order to get there, I've got to have the right relationship with God, because on my own, it's not going to happen. We can try every self-help book in the world. We can try every meditation and everything, every kind of thing that we can think of. Not going to happen. It's just not. It's not a conditional thing, meaning that I can build myself up to it. It is not a practical thing in the sense of, well, I'm gonna strive toward it. No, I need God in order to get there. Patience is maybe one of the most needed fruits to bear, because love, we can kind of figure that one out, although we still need God to understand it. And joy, we have pockets of joy. We talked about that in our study. We find peace in a peaceful moment. And so those are things we're familiar with to a degree. But patience, I mean, from the time that we're little, that's something we fight with. You know, I want it now. I don't want to wait. And it could be anything. It could be anything. And as we get older, that doesn't go away. Again, then we move into the realm of adulthood, and we deal with traffic, or we deal with, I'm ready for this to change, or I'm ready for that, or whatever. All these different things, and we become more and more and more impatient. When we begin to understand, I need God to do this. I need to walk hand in hand with Him to do this. Patience is one of those things that absolutely does not come easy. And in fact, I would say it doesn't come at all. We may have a snippet of it here and there, and as we get older, we have a little bit less things that bother us. And so we seem to have a little more tolerance. But I don't know that patience is a possibility without the presence of God. Because again, patience is not just that internal peace that we just recently talked about. But patience, again, we go back to the definition, is the ability to bear the things that are annoying, misfortune. Oh man, I hate that. And I don't want that. Pain, loss of temper, irritation, all these things without complaint. The ability to suppress the restlessness and annoyance. What is all of those things? If we put all that together, what do they give us? A visual picture. You can see. So we go back to the fruit of the Spirit. You can see whether it's there or not. You can see if there's love. You can see if there's joy. You can see if there's peace. And you can absolutely see if there's patience. What is the rest of this lesson going to look like? You'll have to wait until tomorrow when we dive deeper into the fruit of the Spirit is patience. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. God bless you, friends. Have a great rest of the day.